Happy holidays everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I would like to share my Christmas gift that I purchased for myself over the holidays at the local Microcenter. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and help me reach 1,000 subscribers, and thank you for watching. So let me go over this amazing deal that I was able to find for $400. It's a PowerSpec gaming tower, model number G313. In this case, this model is a little bit older now, about 1.5 to 2 years since it first came out, but somehow it fell through the cracks and it surfaced itself on their clearance rack. And then while reading the specs on this thing, I was amazed and I knew I had to buy it immediately, right there and then. Yes, only $400. This one retailed originally between $1,000 and $1,200. Now let me tell you why this was such a good deal. This specific model has the i5 6600K processor along with Z170A MSI motherboard. Perfect combination for overclocking in the future. Also, it has 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, 3000 megahertz. And for storage, we have 480 gigabyte SSD drive. And for the big prize, everybody, we have a GTX 1070 8 gigabytes graphics card. Now that's what caught my eyes, and I knew I had to get it immediately. Now for those of you who are not familiar with PowerSpec brand, it's a brand that's carried only by Microcenter. It's basically a pre-build, and it consists of all name brand parts that you could buy individually from Microcenter's build your own section. So it's really good to upgrade in the future, or even you could change the case. I know their cases are not the fanciest and they pretty much look all the same. It doesn't matter if the pre-build is $500 or $1,800. They use the same generic PowerSpec tower, but it's not how it looks. In our case, it's what's inside. Now let's take a closer look inside and go over all the parts that are inside. Okay, so this is pretty much what it looks like inside. The first thing I notice is the wiring job is not so great at all. Look at that. Wow, it's a mess. And it's got the biggest pet peeve that I usually have for pre-builds, which is an 8-pin power connector that runs all the way from the bottom up across the motherboard here, which goes underneath the graphics card. Then it goes underneath their network card and all the way to the top. Man, that looks bad. But what do you expect? It's a pre-build, so what are you gonna do? Okay, so let's begin to go over all the components here. So the first one we're gonna start with is the power supply. Evga 500 watt power supply, 80 plus rated. In my opinion, this is a bare minimum for a system like this. And if you want to do any overclocking for a graphics card or a processor, definitely the first thing I would recommend is to change this power supply to something better. Now moving to the right, we have the Inland SSD drive, 480 gigabytes, which is their house brand, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. All SSD drives, the older ones, as long as they're on M.2, they all perform pretty much the same, and I've used this brand all the time, and it's definitely a quality drive. And then on the right side here we have the front fan, which is a 120mm blue LED fan. That is the cheapest one they used. I think in the store it goes for about $5, and it spins really slow. You could check at in the BIOS, and this thing spends somewhere between 600 and 700 RPMs, which is very slow. You're not gonna get too good of an airflow in this bad boy, but it is what it is. That's how it comes. Now when it comes to the motherboard, they use an MSI Z170A PC Mate, which is a good motherboard, and it has an extra PCI Express lane, and also it is compatible with the M.2 drives right there, as you could see. Now let's move to the good part here, which is the Zotac GTX 1070 8 gigabytes graphics card. This thing is huge. Now it seems like, from my experience, that they have maybe partners with Zotac or something, or they get good rebates because they do use a lot of the Zotac graphics card on their pre-builds. This thing is huge. I've never seen anything like this before. Look how close. You got about 1 millimeter or 2 clearance between the frame over here, which is, I'm surprised that they did something like this, because I mean, it's going to be hard to take this bad boy out when I do a full rebuild of this computer, which we'll also review, and we'll see what's the maximum performance we could get out of this bad boy. Also, let's look at the DDR4 RAM here, which is 16 gigabytes of GSkill 3000 megahertz, and running in dual channel 2 sticks of 8. That's a good RAM, that's for sure. And for the CPU cooler, we have the Cooler Master Evo 212, which is a pretty damn good tower cooler. You definitely could get some good overclocking off of this. If otherwise, the next step will be to get a a CPU liquid cooling system. And then we have another 120 millimeter blue LED fan, and again, it's the same crappy one that they use here. It's the cheapest one. It spins so slow. I'm surprised to get any kind of airflow here. And then the last thing we have here is a DVD drive here. That's an Asus brand. That's definitely a good thing to have. I know a lot of the fancier pre-builds and custom builds, they don't even carry that anymore, but this one comes with it. And yeah, that's pretty much how it looks inside. And now it's time to test some games, some modern games at 1080p and 4K resolution, so you guys stay tuned for that. Okay everybody, and the first game I'm going to be testing is Fortnite. And just to refresh it, you guys, the system specs are i5 6600K along with GTX 1070 8GB and 16GB of DDR4 RAM. We're testing out my Christmas gift and to see how well it does in some of the modern games. Of course, one of the favorites is here, Fortnite. And the first setting is going to be at 1080p on the lowest preset. Here it is. There you have it. Yep, 1080p full screen. It's a good setting. It looks good. I'm just using the regular, a decent LED 1080p monitor, and it looks great. And if you want to play competitively and you want to have those high frames, there's nothing wrong with a low setting. As a matter of fact, the next setting I'm going to jump into is going to be Epic, and you will see the difference of how it looks, and there's really not that much of a difference in my opinion. So yeah, this is what you pretty much expect on a computer of this caliber that I've got myself over the holidays to perform on a game like this. And we're gonna, of course, further on test out some more of a higher end games, and we'll see how well it does. And again, everybody, I do recommend, whenever you're buying a brand new computer from a store or a used computer, I would definitely recommend just go ahead and reinstall Windows Fresh to get rid of all the bloatware and all the unnecessary stuff that's floating around that they're always going to try to get you, especially if you buy it from a store. It will definitely hold back some of your performance. Along with, there's plenty of other stuff that Windows throws in the background, which could be found in the privacy settings of your Windows 10 software. There's a lot of stuff running in the background. So in this case, I did not overclock any of the items. I didn't overclock the processor, the graphics card, or the RAM. So as you could see, we're at 3.9 gigs over here on the processor, which is the turbo frequency for the i5 6600K. And with the graphics card, we're at 1823 megahertz, which is the stock turbo boost core clock, and along with 4000 megahertz on the memory clock. So that's all stock, and it is utilizing everything the way it should be. And as you can see, the temperatures are pretty good. That's something you could expect on a good good newer system without any of the parts failing, so you're gonna get these kind of results. So let's jump right into Epic settings here. And remember one thing, when you're making such a big switch from low to Epic, you're gonna get a little stutter in the beginning. Now there it is. You do see it's a lot sharper and clearer. Looks nice. So you see the little stuttering in the beginning, but just a few seconds after, it's gonna look good. And yeah, absolutely, the game looks great at these settings. It looks really good. And yeah, we're gonna kind of keep away from people out there. I do want to make this in one take, kind of give you a general idea what to expect with this hardware. And as you can see, you're still getting you know, over 100 FPS on Epic settings, no problem. Pretty damn good, if you ask me. Yeah, I kind of hang around this area. This is my area right here. My area. My neighborhood. It's a nice spot. Yeah, no problems. Alright, now we're going to jump into 4K. So I always like to just bring it back down to the lowest settings, because I'm not sure how well it do on Epic on 4K. But we're going to try the lowest settings and let it kind of get together, back together. Yep, that's good. Alright, so now let's go ahead and change the resolution. And I'm going to go wide full screen. You saw how I did it. It locked right into that and hit apply, and there you have it. It's done. You could see that the numbers in the top left corner got a lot smaller, so you know that we're at 4K. Again, for those of you who are not familiar with this option, all the NVIDIA cards, they have the option in their control panel called NVIDIA DSR. When you enable that, you're able to play games at a higher resolution even though your display is 1080p. And it does look better. And also, it's a great way for you to kind of test out your hardware and to see what kind of frame rates it'll run in case you ever want to upgrade in the future, you know, to a 4K monitor. I'm not going to tell you that this is going to look better than the 4K monitor. That's for sure. That's not going to happen. But you kind of get an idea what it will look like. So yeah, here we are. We're on 4K on lowest settings. We're hitting around 144. You know, 145, 150 in these areas. So it's pretty good, I would say. Very good. This thing definitely crushes. It crushes Fortnite. Yeah, we'll kind of stay around here. What's over here? More stuff. Okay. Oh no. Nah, it took too long. Nah, I gotta run. Oh boy. That's all my fault. Yeah, I better run now from the cloud. Now I do quickly want to just hit the Epic setting before the cloud comes and gets me. Oh yeah, you're gonna get a little stutter like I told you. That's a big setting here. But let's see. Okay. Yeah, let's get back into town here. The storm is behind me. Yeah, and that's pretty much what you expect on the Epic settings, I guess. Around 30 on 4K. Pretty tough setting. But wow, that's what I want to show you. Yeah, the water looks great. I mean, for a lower end graphics game like this, yeah, the water looks nice. That's what I wanted to show you. Very beautiful. Yeah, well, yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see what the next game could do. But yeah, that's Fortnite on 1080p and 4K settings. And here's another classic, Witcher 3. Even though this is an older title, it'll definitely test the limits of your hardware here. So once again, we're starting at 1080p on the lowest settings. Yeah, if you get this kind of frame rates on the low settings, you know you're doing something right. Again, I'd like to say that even though the settings are the lowest possible on 1080p, it still looks good. As you could see, it looks pretty damn good. So we have everything turned off to kind of push the card to the limits and see what we got. So there you have it, everything turned off on post-processing, and then the graphics 1080p full screen, everything turned off low. Oh, it's got really no issues here at all to run. Let's get into a I'm gonna go ahead and put this on ultra before this next fight scene here. Okay, let's do this first. Ultra here. NVIDIA Hairworks off. That's of course recommended to turn that setting off. And post-processing on high, but with motion blur off and this blur thing here off too. And we'll leave it at this maybe. Let's put it up to this. It's pretty much maxed out. These two, I mean, they don't make too much of a difference. So let's look at it here on ultra settings. Now we're gonna jump right into a fight scene. Yes, you could see right away that the graphic looks very nice. But now all of a sudden at 1080p, you know, we're like in the 70s and 80s in the fight scene. I mean, this game is still pretty hard to run. Wow. Yeah, you could really see the details on the creatures. Unless there's one around somewhere. Where are you? There you are. Yo, go, yo. That's it. Quiet down. Yeah, that's very detail-like. Very nice. Beautiful game. I'm sure a newer one will gonna be coming out soon, and it's gonna be a lot harder to run. It seems like a pattern of every newer game. They're just making it harder and harder to run for you guys to spend more money. Unbelievable. Oh, look at the guts right there. Hope. Yep. So an open area, we're a little bit higher, but I'm not gonna go there just yet. I don't want no cutscenes. Okay, so let's give it a shot at the 4K now. So I did the low and I did the ultra settings. Again, let's take this to the lowest. And this is to the lowest. And work our way up to the 4K setting. Okay, so we're in the lowest settings. We're only about 60 FPS. Yeah, it's going to be pretty tough to run on ultra, that's for sure. Probably your sweet spot will be like medium or something to get that 60 FPS, which is still going to look good. I'm going to go down there and see if I can find some bad guys. Some of the sea creatures. Oh. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and do the ultra. Won't do the hair works. Do manual on these. Don't want it to freeze up. I'll go in the middle on this one. Sharpening bloom and anti-aliasing. And we'll leave these. Oh, yep. So now, yeah, I'm starting to feel a little laggage, you know, a little stuttering. I mean, the game is gonna run good, but you know, we're looking at that. I could increase some settings, and then we'll really drop down to 30 FPS if I increase the anti-aliasing. But it looks good. It looks good, this thing. And that's it, guys. And that was the settings. Thank you. Okay, and here's Far Cry 5. Another pretty difficult game to run, but I think we'll do well here. So we're starting on 1080p, the lowest presets to get that high frame rate action here. Yep, this is it. 1080p. Everything turned down, and then we're gonna work our way up to 4K. Yeah, it's another visually beautiful game. I love these games, you know, where you're out in the woods, in a wild. Just looks great. Let me see if I can get these guys here real quick. Ooh. It shouldn't have come out so tough like that. Ooh, that's a nice one. Very nice. Okay, let's see. We're gonna jump right into the ultra setting here. That's it. I'll keep this on. Yeah, I mean, if you turn this off, let's just do without turning it off. We'll see how much of a difference is here. Okay, so wow. I mean, yeah, I mean, if you could tell, but the water looks great with the setting here. Looks pretty good. Yeah, I kind of want to see the rocks. Come on, the little pebbles. Okay, so now what we do here, we turn this on. Of course, the performance will drop. Well, not that much. It's about the same almost. Let's see. Yeah, so we're here on Ultra. That looks pretty damn good. That's good enough for me here. Yeah, everything looks good. Read that for. What am I reading that for? Yeah, that looks nice. Okay. Now we're gonna work our way up to the 4K. Again, I'll use the strategy here of putting it to the low settings, and then Go to a higher resolution. Okay, let's see if that comes back to. Yeah, that's good. Then work our way to 4K. Yeah, we gotta get a big drop here. Oh yeah. That's no surprise. Right now it looks pretty dull. We're gonna increase the settings. Yeah, can I blow this up? That's gonna be tough to run. Let's see. Can we achieve ultra? Okay, I won't even mess with this thing. Let's see if we get. Okay, alright. Yeah, I don't know if you could tell, but it's gonna be running pretty sluggish. But yeah, the water looks nice. Very beautiful. Just gonna add one last setting to finish this test off, and go ahead and turn the anti-aliasing on. And yep, it still works, but we're in our 30s. Beautiful. So there you have it. Yeah, you could play 4K on this one on the max settings at about 30 FPS. It's not as fast responsive as the lower settings, but you know, it's definitely playable. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's it for the Far Cry 5. Oh yes, and of course I would have to try Shadow of Tomb Raider. We are currently on 1080p low settings. Let's just go over that real quick here. The lowest, turned off everything. Display 1080p.
Okay, this should work.
We're just gonna jump right through to the highest preset with just the motion blur off, okay? And I'll go ahead and put these lens flares on. Screen effects. To see where we're at. Okay, so we're at the highest preset on 1080p. And now the game is starting to look like it should.
This is Commander Rourke. I want the site secured ASAP. When Dr. Dominguez arrives, we all go in.
Yeah, you could see the rocks, the detail. Man, very nice. The mold on them, fantastic. How's the plants look? Very nice. No! How embarrassing. we're gonna go ahead and just redo that part.
Get ready. Dr. Dominguez is on his way down.
Damn, I better hurry. I've got this.
Yeah, not bad at the high settings, huh? That's good frame rates. I'll take it.
Cave.
Yeah, the GTX 1070 is still a powerful card. That's for sure. Oh, this part, I hope I make it. I always mess up on this part. Good. Alright, and let's go down to 4K. Okay, we'll start with the lowest. Let the textures reload.
This is it.
And the display, we'll go ahead and do the 4K action here. Oh yeah, now we're starting to have troubles here. Wow, that's pretty low.
Cave. We may lose contact.
And of course on a 4K low settings, it's not gonna look too good. But we're gonna work our way up. Let's see what happens. I want to see that water. Let's see. There it is.
This cave looks like it's usually underwater.
Go ahead and go up and yeah, I'll just go ahead to the ultra settings to very high and just see what happens here. I'll take this off, turn these on, and lower that down, and that'll be probably the best settings you could do for the game to be playable at 4K and still look great. Oh yeah, you see the difference right now. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, you see that reflection right there, and the walls look great. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, it's pretty much what you expect to get it on the highest settings here. Oh, I want to get it so bad. Come on. Oh, I got one. Come on, give me another one. Oh, the red is gone. Okay, okay. Well, it's not sluggish, so I'm glad. So if you don't mind the low FPS, it plays pretty good.
Shit, right.
Pretty good. Well, there you have it, everybody. We're able to run this game at 4K with decent FPS.
What is this place?
No problem. There's it. Let's take a look at that water again. Beautiful. Alright, and that's it for Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And here we have Battlefield 5. We're going to be starting out on the lowest preset on 1080p. Let me show you guys. Here it is. That's here. And this my settings here. Of course, you guys are going to be changing the different settings. I recommend putting it to custom first and doing everything manually. Otherwise, it keeps like messing the settings up. So, yep. And as if by now I'm sure you know you can't even turn this off, so you're stuck with the low setting here. Then we're gonna work our way up, of course. So yeah, if you want those high frame rates, you're good to go on this setting here. No, we don't want that. Yeah, who's gonna come? Ain't nobody gonna come here. Oh, there's somebody. I love these older weapons. They're pretty tough to handle. I always like the World War I and II games better than the modern stuff. I mean, the realism and just a little bit harder to aim and stuff. It's just great. I mean, it looks good. It still looks good. I mean, it looks a little bit pixely when you look closer, but it's okay on the low settings. So we're just gonna jump right into the Ultra. Let's see. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. One more. Well, let's try without that for now. And then we'll add these two on the bottom. Yeah, right. Immediately you see a lot of detail on the gun. And the old warplanes here. And it's a really good area to kind of test out the graphics here. Looks very nice. Yeah, I guess no ray tracing here. Maybe one day I'll get my hands on one of those bad boys, but the price is just outrageous. Oh, you do see a little shadow from this bush here. You see that right there? That's pretty good. All right, so let's crank up the settings on the 1080p. These last two here, we're gonna do that's a higher one, and this is the highest, I think. Yep. That should increase the look a little bit even better. Oh yeah, that's more like it. And yeah, you do see the reflection in the water. No ray tracing, of course, but oh, plus you got the little raindrops. You do have a little mist at the same time. So let's see how this explosion looks here. That's gonna look nice. Yeah, that's beautiful. Very beautiful. I don't know about you guys, but I just love to run around woods and land and things of that nature. Oh, this is where the action is. Let's just throw a couple of grenades, see what happens here, just for the hell of it. Oh, this thing is wild. Now who's shooting at me here? Oh yeah, we got a couple of people there. Man, these bushes look great. Okay. Let's see what we could do in 4K. Again, we're gonna lower down all the resolutions. See what it could do on the lowest. Get back into that high frame rate. That's it. Okay, so we're right about, what do we got there? About 60 on the lowest. Wow. Let's see what happened. Just want to see how the mud and the water looks. Ooh, I see them there. Oh boy. I can't handle that. Need some more bullets. Maybe if I go on top, see what happens. Oh, there's the top. Oh, ho, ho. Oh, I get you. Oh my goodness. Oh no. What the hell? Yeah, I better run. That's not good. Alright, so let's see if we crank up the settings a little bit higher. Or a lot higher. Let's go ahead and just do the ultra. Just leave it that. I won't even mess with those. Be lucky to get this thing going. Okay. Whoa, what the? I need some more bullets. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and just max that out there. Finish this test out. Okay. That's it. We're maxed out on 4K. Oh, that looks nice. Yeah, you guys gotta see this. Wow. It's fantastic. That's it. I'm down to like nothing. Look at this desk. Wow. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So we were able to hit 4K. Pretty similar results as the Shadow of Tomb Raider. because these games came out pretty much at the same time, and they're pretty good games. Look great. What's that? Who's there? Oh, I'm gonna get you. Give me a good weapon. Come on. Okay. Run. Alright, and that's pretty much it. Let me just finish some of these guys off here. Oh no.